Hello and welcome to Trainz, a new era. I picked this up with a whole bunch of DLC on the Black Friday sale, so I thought I'd just bring it to show you guys. I haven't played Trainz since the mid 2000s, so after Train Simulator, this was my first Trainz. Trainz was the first train simulator I went after Microsoft's Train Simulator. I had Trainz the Ultimate Collection, so we're just going to go through the tutorials in this one and just to see. I want to see what it's like. I do want to see what it's like. It didn't cost me all too much money for what I got. I just hope that it's good enough. So we're going to see. We are definitely going to see. So, alright, here we go. Welcome aboard. This tutorial introduces you to changing camera views and operating trains in DCC mode. DCC I think means, is it direct something control? If I remember correctly. And it means it's not realistic, it's more like a model railway. So yeah, let's have a look. Check. Yep. The camera button is in the top menu bar. Okay, so this is definitely changed. Cab interior. Okay. It looks quite decent inside. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too special. Oops, I just knocked the mic, didn't I? There we go. Alright, arrow keys to pan, mouse scroll to zoom. Right, okay, yeah, fine. Then we're going to go to chase view. Now, I'm assuming that there are keys for this. Alright, chase view focuses the camera on whichever vehicle you select. Arrow keys will orbit. Very good. Alright, doesn't look too bad, you know. Distant scenery is a bit rubbish, but I'm assuming I can make adjustments to this. I think, yeah, most likely adjustments are to be made. Right, and then, yep. Then we've got line side view, so this is similar to the F4 view in Train Sim, yep. And then we've got free roaming, which is similar to the 8 key. Right mouse button sets the compass. Oh, this is actually quite... I do remember this. Yes, click and hold allows you to drag around where you want to go, and then that becomes your orbit point. Cool. And then we've got the map view, which is very, very important, of course. Up and down, as you can see, tilts the train, or tilts the camera, not the train. Doesn't tilt the train. Doesn't tilt the train. No, no, no. And map view is this view. Whoa. That's a... Alright, use right mouse button to center a position. Use the arrow keys to orbit around that position. Yeah, but that's not going to work here. Wow, this is a lot of stuff around. I like this. The one thing I really like about Trainz, I have to say, is that it's the map creation on it. Right, so we're going to go back into chase view. There we go. Driving in DCC mode. Right, so this is now DCC mode. As you can see, it's like a little model train set. If you ever owned a Hornby train set or something, and this is essentially what it's like. So as you can see, we can rotate the dial using W and X. So it's not W and S, it's W and X over here. So you can see as we move it forward, it moves the train forward. We go back, it stops, move it backwards, the train moves backwards. So we're going to turn it 4 notches clockwise to see the train moving forward now, and you can see it's at 2 miles per hour. Now, of course, we can use our mouse to rotate around here. You can see the lights on there, pretty cool. Let's press that, and we'll continue moving it forward. So we've got navigation displays. The icon above the track ahead is a navigation point. It tells you to proceed forward. Nav points are there to guide you to your destination and assist you with tasks such as you progress through a session. Really neat. Okay, so we're going to be going forward there. So we've got a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, so I'm actually going to crank this up somewhat, like so. Let's see what else we have over here. What other buttons? We have our headlight buttons. I can switch more headlights on, right? Okay. Ditch lights, don't have that. The bell, of course. And there we go, so we're continuing up ahead. So we're just going to continue straight along this line. And as you can see, manual control is disabled for this junction lever. And to stop your train, press S. So we need to stop the train at the red nav points. Either we can bring the speed down or press S. Or we've got this button over here, as you can see, called stop. And you can reverse the train facing. So I can do this. And you can see this is not realistic at all. This is like a very... You can see this is very much like a model train set. So it picks up speed and it slows down very, very easily. I'll switch off that bell? Yep, switch off that bell because it's annoying me. And we'll just stop the train right here. There you go, train stopped. Congratulations, you've completed this tutorial. Fine, okay, brilliant. So we've got the basics of DCC. Let's go through a few other tutorials in this first look. What I'm also going to do is I'm actually going to... I think I've got the frames that I can draw a little bit more here. And maybe add... Maybe do something like this. Tree details, fine. Let's see what happens here. So we're going to go for junction switching. Let's see how many of these we can get through. Maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4. Okay. Let's have a look at what we've got over here for us. So we've got the direction nav point ahead indicates the junction must be operated manually. To set a junction, mouse over it until the red-green arrows appear and click to switch to junction. So this is very normal for us. For anyone who's used Trainz before, this is very classic. And you can see that the signals have changed. We've got a light here. How do we switch on and off these lights? I'm assuming we can only do that in advanced mode. And now we can proceed with caution ahead. So we press W. Obviously we're in DCC mode, so we can do that. You can see we're carrying 2 Southern Rail passenger cars. Pretty nice materials on that. Not brilliantly realistic, but that's fairly reflective. And it's not bad. It's not bad. There's a fair amount of reflection on that. Not too bad at all. I would like more higher resolution, but looks like we're not getting that. That's alright though. What's the horn like on this one? Wow. Okay. And we need to stop in 0.24 of a mile, so I'm actually going to crank this up a little bit more now. There we go. Proceed slowly and allow plenty of braking distance to bring your train to a halt up ahead, because obviously we've got 2 more carriages as well as what we've got. So if we start braking, if we're doing what, 13 miles an hour, crank it up a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't look all too realistic, but I tell you what, it looks fun to play. I have to admit, it does look fun to play. It looks like something I used to enjoy building on here. Let's I used to definitely enjoy building on this. Oh wow, the stopping on this train is very quick. Once we go into realistic mode, I assume it's going to be different. So we'll stop at that red signal. 11, 9, 8, and we'll just stop it just about here. There we go. Switch to passenger junction ahead. So there we go. And now we'll proceed. You can see we've got a clear signal. So I wonder, can I just max this out all the way? Let's see what happens if I attempt to max this out. Obviously the sky doesn't look all brilliant. I like the smoke that's coming off this, and it does, you know, there is a realistic sense to that, in terms of just overall realism on there. The color palette isn't all too realistic. The sounds are a little bit dull, but you know, it looks fairly decent. It honestly does. And then we need to stop at the station. Obviously that's not a 40-mile-an-hour junction, so we would have to worry about that. But we're going to stop at the station. You know what the thing is? For some reason this is vaguely familiar to me. I don't know why. I don't know whether I've done this before, but this is vaguely familiar to me. You can see the bogies there as the train pivots around. That's very neat. And we'll just stop it over at the station. See how big this train is. Let's get the next platform in. Next carriage into the platform, I mean. There we go. Congratulations, you've completed this tutorial. Oh, thank you. That's not too bad. Not too bad. We've managed to get 2 tutorials done in 10 minutes. Which is alright. It's very, very alright. Next tutorial, switching. Now I've noticed that once we loaded it up for the first time, the rest of them are loading fairly quickly. As you can see, that one's already loaded. So moving the freight to where it's needed usually requires some switching. First you'll be moving the boxcar at the warehouse over to the passenger station. Click the check mark when we're ready to continue. So we're looking at coupling as well. To couple to the boxcar, simply approach it at low speed and give it a gentle nudge. Take care, excessive speed may cause damage to valuable freight or even the boxcar itself. So we have damage in this. This is good. Couple the boxcar. Very well. Again, we're still in DCC mode. It looks like we're going to do all of this in DCC mode. Then we're going to go to realistic mode, potentially in the next episode. So we'll just come up to this very, very slowly. That's a New Haven. That looks like a half New Haven, and nope, that's a New Haven and a New York Central right there. So New Haven boxcar and a New York Central boxcar. There's another New Haven boxcar. 4 miles an hour is probably a little too fast, actually. I'm going to slow to 2 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour works for me. There we go. Alright, reverse back and stop where directed. So we're now going to reverse. So that sign obviously means keep going, not reverse. And as you can see, manual control is disabled for this junction lever. That one is not, and that one is. So let's get this train reversed out. Another New Haven boxcar. Decent textures on it. Could do with more high resolution. And obviously the buildings, they don't have brilliant normal maps or anything like that. It does look basic. I mean, that one looks quite... that has a decent normal map, actually. That being said, that one does. Some of them don't, some of them do. Says whistle there, so we'll switch on our bell. That's interesting. It like adds an extra noise. It does make it sound like it was just picked up from somewhere, and that's a little disappointing, I have to admit. And we'll stop it right here. There we go. Right, once you have set the junction, you can move the boxcar alongside the passenger station. Alright, so we basically set that back and then we're going to push that into the station. I guess we'll leave our bell on. So it was switch junction 49 100. Push the boxcar forward into the station and then stop. Very well. I mean, the thing about this is I remember liking the whole building aspect of Trainz. It was just a really, really nice... I used to do a lot of building on here. And we'll stop it right there. We'll switch that off. The decouple button is on the bottom right next to the stop button. Alright, that's that one there. And then we have the red, yep, as normal. And then we'll be moving the 2 boxcars from track 2 over to the warehouse. So now we're literally going to reverse back. So now it's getting a little bit more complicated. We've got a bit more to do. So we need to clear the junction, stop, switch it over, and switch it over. Makes sense. So we're going to switch that over there, and then that one needs to be switched there. Then we need to move ourselves forward again. Now obviously the train stops very, very quickly, very unrealistic at the moment. But like I said, this is is potentially because it's in DCC mode. I remember it feels like it's on electric, you know, the electric rails, like I said, the Hornby train sets and stuff like that. You see how quickly it picks up and reduces speed, just like there's nothing to it. I don't know why I'm switching on and switching off that bell. I'm not. There we go. I'll back these up. Yep, I already know what to do. Back it up, and then I'm assuming we're going to bring them in and couple them up with the New Haven coach. That's my assumption, anyway. Oh, no, 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 no. We're stopping right here. Interesting. Bad place to stop, but okay. Now switch to junction and take the boxcars. Ah, that's what we're doing. Okay. So we weren't bringing it into the passenger station and coupling with the New Haven. We wanted to move the New Haven out the way so that we can get it into the warehouse so we can load them up. Clever. Very clever. So yeah, first impressions of Trainz New Era. Graphically, not all too impressive. But in other senses, you know, it's a fun title, I think. I don't think it's nothing like, you know, the likes of Train Sim World or anything. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be more fun. Maybe Train Simulator 2018-esque. There are, you know, a bunch of tracks and a bunch of lines that we can go down. So I am looking forward to seeing that. Let's take a look at this. Let's do another 5-minute tutorial. Why not? Introduction to industry. We'll have a look at what it is, then we can end that there. Alright, often during a session you will be required to load and unload freight at points along the way. In this tutorial you will be loading lumber at the mill for delivery to another industry. You may start your train slowly forward when ready. I'm ready. Let's move it forward. Without that. With that, and some lights. Lights. Lights, please. There we go. Good. More lights. There we go. Even more lights. So we have no lights, dim lights, bright lights. Good. Stop at the nav point to load lumber. Alright. We can really pick up some speed here. Lots of noise, lots of clanking, lots of clattering. As you can expect as we're crossing over. Very classic noises. None too realistic. Alright, we'll get rid of that. It's fairly good. I'm surprised this is 40 miles an hour. I'm assuming that's because obviously we're in like a test area. So we'll do this one last tutorial and that's where I will end the episode. It says whistle, but I don't think we need to whistle because we're stopping right here. I think we're stopping right here, yes. Next limit 35. No, there is a 35 mile an hour limit coming up, so... Right, I'm actually going to... pop that over there. There we go. Oh, that loaded it fairly quickly. Now you can proceed to St. Nicholas Main Yard. The path has been set. The path has been set for you. Where is St. Nicholas Main Yard? Let's have a look at the map. I suppose that's what the map's for, right? Map view. Where are we? Lots of Trainz Tunnel. No, that's not where we are. We're here. Here we are. Are we here? No, that's forestry products. Can we potentially... I can't really... Nicholas, there's something there. It's Nicholas. So it's got to be around here, I'm assuming. Gunpowder Works. Power Core. Daydream Mine. Press, a refinery. Turner Industries. Now, I genuinely don't know where I am. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go back into our chase view for now. And we'll just continue along the way and hope that everything's been sorted out for us. Let's actually have a look in the interior view. Can we have a look inside? There we go. Bad quality right there. But I mean, these are all right. It's okay. It's nothing special. I mean, it's very simple in here. As you can see, it is a shunter, but it's still very simple. There's a throttle position. Obviously, it's not exactly as you would expect. That's not how it works. That's just because we're in DCC mode, so you can see what it's doing. So I believe that's a green signal for us. Let's have a look at a line side view. There's a line side view. Sounds crazy. Back to our lovely chase view. There we go. What's this? Not where we need to go, so we're going to actually continue along the ways. I've got to get used to W and X as opposed to W and S. Oh, and we've got a bit of a bridge to go over. 35-mile-an-hour limit over the bridge, I'm assuming. That's quite nice. That is quite nice. Looks good. Good shadows. Is it reflections? Don't think there's reflections. Yeah, there's reflections. Look, quite good reflections as well. Decent. That's fairly decent. Could do with better texturing. I think the color palette is what lets it down at the moment. A bit more power. There's a 50-mile-an-hour limit. So obviously we need to wait until the entire train is through before accelerating to 50, but we can accelerate now to 50. Although we do have a 40 coming up. Right there actually, so we're in the... that was a Morpeth board actually. That yellow one must have been a Morpeth board or whatever in America is the equivalent of a Morpeth board. There's the 40 limit. I think. There it is actually. There's the 40 limit. So we're okay for the speed that we're doing at the moment. 37 miles an hour. 36. Limit of 40. Next limit is 50 miles per hour. Very shortly. There it is. So it's just this corner that's 40 miles an hour. This bend. Back up to 50. Another 40 coming up. So there's no point me actually accelerating to 50 here. 40 seems to be the choice. I'm going to switch off the bell now. That sounds pretty realistic. That did sound pretty realistic right there. As we're wandering around the map, this small map. Now you can create anything in here, honestly. I know for a fact you can create anything you want. And I think we've got the entire East Coast main line from London, King's Cross all the way to Edinburgh. I might be tempted to try that. If you guys want to see that, leave that in the comments box below. Let me know if you want to see a run all the way from King's Cross to Edinburgh, and I would do it. It'd have to be over multiple parts, of course, but I would definitely try and do that. Slow down to 30 coming up. 0.3 of a mile, but, you know. Is that another train moving? It's another train moving. Over there, locked junction, and we're down to 30. There we go. Southern Pacific. What are they called? EMD 9s? All these various different. Is that Burlington Northern, Western Main Line, New Haven, New York Central, Pennsylvania Railroad. So a few. Right, so apparently we're almost where we need to be. Next signal is yellow. slow it down a bit more. This is not a 30-mile-an-hour corner for sure. 20 perhaps. Alright, and we're just bringing it right up over there. That's fine. And I believe that would be the end of this video. You can see actually another shunter doing its work. Yeah, another shunter getting on doing its work. He just gave that a shove, didn't he? He gave that a right shove. And it looks like we're stopping on the other side of this. Oh, that's a bit of a bug. That's okay though. Ford Focus. Vauxhall Zafira. And we'll stop the train right about here. Fantastic. Oh, we've got to do a little bit more. You're getting a bit longer episode. The lumber is being delivered to MISO 58 Traction SA on the siding to the rear of your train marked by the unload nav point. Switch this junction and then reverse. Okay, that's switched and now I'm going to reverse. There goes that train pulling those oil or tank cars. Now, if I remember, is it control and right click? No, that's it. Control and left click, or just left click on its own, moves to the back. That way I can see where we're headed. We're going over there. So we can really crank the power up on this. What have we got here? Union Pacific, New Haven, New York Central, and what's Seaboard? Don't know. We've got Southern Pacific here. I know all these from my Transport Fever videos, that's why I know all these names. Otherwise I'd be really lost. Alright, let's see if we can back this up right the way to the buffer. There's some sort of yard track here. Just back it up ever so slowly. Oh, that was fairly good. It pushed it and then you saw each one push on its own. That was fairly impressive. So it's got good physics. The physics are certainly there. We just have to get it into realistic mode, that's all. But that won't be in this episode. It's not even a buffer, it's just some bricks. Who puts bricks there? There you go. Congratulations, you've completed this tutorial, and that's where I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz A New Era if you want them. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think of this, and in the next episode, if we do get another one, I might do another one. We'll have a look at signals, objectives, and then we'll see if we can get into this realistic mode. The train brake, the dynamic brake, we'll have a look at them. Obviously we know how they work, so I might not have to do them, and then take a look at Steam before getting into some actual railway work. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. I would massively appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in another episode, hopefully, of Trainz A New Era.